everybody. Check it out. We're back. The Be Smart podcast is going again. Got a new bee hooligan right here from the Omaha Metro, Iowa, Nebraska area. So we're going to bring him in and introduce him, and we'll see how things work out. And we get a new show going here. Let y'all have something you can listen to or laugh at or whatever it is you do, as long as you're listening. So, speaking of which, welcome to the show, my friend.
How you doing?
Now, tell everybody your full name.
Full name?
Well, what you told me.
My name is Grit. They call me Grit because I've got somewhat of an abrasive attitude, and the way I talk is basically, if you don't like to hear it, best not be listening.
We get along just fine. Isn't that amazing?
I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like to hear it or not.
And that's the way it should be with beekeeping or anything else you do. If you can't talk straight about it, you shouldn't be talking about it. Our previous cohorts, who we're going to bring in, hopefully going into the future, JP, Shawi, Yappy, I hear y'all out there. You know you hear me. We're going to bring you guys back as we get this the technology fingered back out, but we're going to have some fun doing it live. Today we're out here at Scatterjoy Acres. This is the new home of the Beehooligans, the Be Smart Beekeeping Project. We're doing some activities out here. We're doing live bee rescue. We got to have a place to take the bees we get. And I was telling you, Grit, part of what's going on is hands-on. Everything's hands-on. So I'm already doing a lot of this stuff. I go out, people call me, get them out of a roof, out of a building, out of a side of a barn. We're sitting right next to a barn. And I'm going to get them out anyway. Then I always need some place to take them. And my yards always fill up real quick. And then I got looking for places to put them. This place here got all kinds of acres.
How many acres you say?
Well, they got, I know it's like 15, 20 acres immediately in the area right here.
That we can see. And I know she said there's a possibility for more on the side. So, I mean, we got room to put a few bees in here now. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have some fun doing some bee rescue. And they do animal rescue already here. You come down to this place, it's in the Florence neighborhood of Omaha. It's up north. She does animal rescue, so she'll go out. People got like farm animals. She's got pigs and cows and ducks and goats. She's got a camel down there. She's got cows down there. Yeah, 2 of them. She's got llama. You name the animal, I swear she's got it. Everything but an elephant. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her find one of them up in here too. So she's already doing animal rescue. I thought, what a better place to put a bee rescue project than on an animal rescue location. Absolutely.
And was really open to the idea. She likes the idea. She's really good about wanting to get into helping pollinators. We're going to set up a garden right down at the bottom of the valley down here. As you go across, we're going to have a big old garden. The cool part about the garden, I got a professional garden and I got a local nursery. They're going to donate some plants. She's going to come down and she's going to be in charge of all the planting. And we're going to make little garden beds and we're going to put little stakes on them. And there'll be beekeeper information. So beekeepers that like to grow stuff that are good just for bees.
Oh, and your pollinator
They're going to have pollinator plants. They're going to put what it is, what it looked like, when it blooms, what time of year, when to plant it, so that people want to learn about the plants that their bees need.
Oh, absolutely.
Bang!
Another thing is, for people who don't know, is to get on the pollinator partnership.
Yeah.
And research that, because it has a ton of information. I just put in 136 acres of pollinator habitat.
But you got a farm.
Yeah, but it's kind of a do or die thing. But for small people, the pollinator program partnership will go up to 2 acres.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
And what it amounts to is they'll pay half for your seed.
Yeah.
Well, so that's really cool for the small owner.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because, I mean, not a lot of people even really give... more people now, I think, are asking the questions about what to plant. And so between programs like that help people get, hey, what to be able to get a hold of it, but then to have a project that's going to combine with things like that to know what to do. I mean, and not just talking about it, but hands-on.
Oh,
come down and doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll have the gardener here. She's going to be a regular part of the project. So every so often, we're going to come down here. We're going to do, garden days where people can come down and see and watch, not only as we plant them and put them all in different times of the year, but also to watch the bees as they collect the pollen.
And the other pollinators.
And well, we're going to have butterflies. She's already got, visitors here. We watched a bunch of the flower bushes. They got a bunch of hedges down there, and you go down there, and it's like a hurricane of butterflies when they're in season.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, it's just go through. It's just cooler than anything. So it's really a beautiful spot. We're happy to be here. We're happy to be part of Scatter Joy. One of these days, I'm going to get, her name is Joy, and she Scattered Joy Acres. It's her place, and we're going to get her to sit down here with us, and we'll do a little interview with her, tell folks a little bit about what she's doing.
Well, we
here.
might have to hog tie her.
She's a busy woman. She's always moving.
Always moving.
She's been around here like 40 times in about the last, hour, I think. Just in and out. So, but she keeps a good program running, so I'm really glad we're here. But today, we were out here, and we're getting hive boxes prepped for spring. We had a fella donate some boxes because all the equipment goes to Scatter Joy. This ain't mine or Be Smart's, the project's hives. It's actually Scatter Joy Acres hives. And so everything, the people donate the money when they pay the $10 to come and be around here and participate. It's not because they're doing it for me, although I wouldn't mind, but I got a Patreon page, folks, if you want to help me do this stuff. But no, when you come up here and you pay the $10, or like a fella here, he donated a couple of 8-frame hives, the boxes and the frames and all that. And they go to Scatter Joy. They own them, and we'll put them all together, clean them up, and that's what we was doing today. We scraped them and scrubbed them down and did a little sanding on them, get rid of, because I got to sand them, because if I don't, then I'll stab myself about 1,000 times on the doggone those splinters. But so we clean them, tidy them up a little bit. We're going to finish up here the last couple of them. Probably the next time we're going to do some frame building and get some plastic foundation put in them.
Sure.
So if people want to come down and learn, not next Saturday, which it'll be the following Saturday. So because we come up here on the first Saturday of each month and on the third Saturday of each month from about 1 o'clock till whenever we're done. So
yeah, and me trying to get, looking at,
you got the distance.
I've got to drive an hour or so, but it's all worth it to help Tony do what he's doing and to, help people up here in the city, get a better understanding of the pollinators. So.
And
that's kind of neat. That's kind of what I like to do. I love to teach.
And that's the thing about, you say, the people in the city, because we're in the middle of Omaha, big urban area, and yet you look around here and you look like you're out on a farm somewhere.
It looks just like I'm at my own farm.
I'm telling you. I mean, so it's such a cool setup because it brings people that rural outdoors, just get you away from everything.
And the smell is always better out here.
Depends on how close you are to the horse pit.
I tell you what, as a kid growing up, it's kind of one of those things. I know I'm getting off topic here a little bit, but
you're right.
I just loved the smell of manure and hay.
You grew up with that.
Yeah, I grew up with it, so it really brings me back, back to an easier time before I actually had responsibilities.
Yeah. You know what, though? I grew up, I had a lot of my family, older family, they grandparents, great-grandparents, or, uncles and them, they were farmers on all sides of the family, so you get out there when you're a kid, and I grew up in South Omaha. We had the stockyards back then.
Okay, yeah.
You talk about the scent of manure that we call South Omaha. We call that the smell of money.
That's the smell of money.
So you're right. It just gets embedded, and after a while, you don't get that nasty, funky look on your face when you smell. You're like, I remember that. Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm home.
Yes.
But out here, it really is. It's just an awesome little place. And I thought, what a better place to put a hands-on beekeeping project. And that's all what it's about. We're both about teaching. We're both about learning. And I know when I started this, I've always wanted to put together, I teach the beekeeping classes at Metro Community College up here. And it's, there are classes and ideas and concepts that work great in the classroom. And it's really, the classroom is the best place for that because it lets you focus conceptually on those topics.
It does. It gives you a line to follow.
It does.
But the line to follow is just
gotta lead somewhere.
It's a line.
Yeah.
Because, my apiary is going to be different than Tony's apiary.
Yeah.
Easy enough, because you wouldn't think 50 miles is a lot, but it is.
Oh, it's huge.
And my mentor, who actually is from Iowa City,
yeah,
because I've known him forever, and that's how I got into it. We're 150 miles. He's by Iowa City, and he's like almost a month way behind me.
Oh, wow.
You know, so that there's a big geographical difference even in the state of Iowa.
Exactly.
You know, me being southwest and him being central.
Yeah.
You know, so
and there's still even a little bit of difference. That 50 miles from where you're coming from in southwest Iowa to here in the central eastern Nebraska, where Omaha's right on the edge of the Missouri River here. There's even I've got a buddy of mine lives down in Hamburg, and I can go down there, and he's a truck driver like I used to be.
What's his name?
Well, he don't. He stays here now. I could tell you his nickname, but I can't tell you on the podcast.
You can't tell me on the podcast. So, I see.
But as soon as I'll let you know, I'll tell you what we call him when we're done. But yeah, you go down there by his place that he had down there in Hamburg, and still, we were down there not that long ago, I think, and it was like summer here compared to there.
Oh yeah,
just that little bit of difference, So hands on though, like I was talking about the classroom. You got that line, and in the classroom it helps you isolate and focus on the concepts and the ideas. But like you said, it is a line, and the line's got to lead to a point, and the point is always ends up hands-on. If you ain't doing it, you're not really learning, because you could see the pictures and watch the videos and read the books and have the discussions, but if you got to get to the point of seeing it happen,
Absolutely.
Of doing it with your own fingers and feeling, because texture just alone, getting that propolis and knowing what propolis feels like, versus wax, there's a difference. To know that feeling of a bee trying to crawl up under your finger while you're lifting the frame, and not squish it.
Yeah, because that bee's not going to care for that too much.
No, she ain't. And a lot of people wear the big thick gloves. I don't wear gloves because it's easier to squish bees that way. And then once they release that chemical, that pheromone, they're all on your nerves now. They're all looking for you. See, you got the little thin ones.
I got the real. I use these because I don't like the propolis on my hand. I'm always. It's just. But it's kind of one of those things. I'm very sensitive to it. And and I've used them enough.
Well, I know a lot of people who've done that.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
But yeah, see, now I just, when I started, I started with this old boy, and, I think I asked him, well, you got a pair of gloves the first day I was helping him. He says, what kind of sissy are you? Well, here I am, 6'4", 300 some odd pounds. We used to play football as an offensive lineman. Once you get asked that question, what kind of sissy are you? That throws every option out of the book. Now you got to man up.
I got man up.
You got this little 80-year-old, 70-year-old man about a third my size telling me what kind of sissy I am. Now, well, then I'm going to pick up some frames now. And I paid for it, but I learned. You learn the feel of it.
You learn the feel.
So, and that's all what this project is about is, you can, I don't care if the people who come to me, I don't care where they learn. They could have took classes from the extension office. They could have been reading a couple books that they checked out or bought. You could have been watching YouTube videos. You don't want to talk to me about learning beekeeping off of YouTube videos, though. You really don't. You'd be better off telling me you learned from a book. But I'm not a big fan of YouTube. Yeah. I do YouTube videos, but on the other hand, I try to keep them less. It's kind of like don't pay attention to me that seriously on this video. It's just for fun only, because there's so many people who do so many things so many ways that you don't always get the context, because A, there's editing of stuff that got left out. B, they zoom in the screen, so you don't really get to know, okay, well, he did that, but in the context of his apiary, the purpose, what he's using that apiary for, the kind of bees, what he's doing there, you don't get to know all that, because that screen is focused right on the immediate
frame
and what he's talking about. And it's like, okay, what does that got to do relative, which could be 180 degrees different from what you or me or anybody else is doing. And so I'm not a big fan of the YouTube videos, except personally, like I said, I watch them, I look and say, yeah, that's cool, okay, move on. But again, you learn however you learn. But then here's a program, here's a program, a project where you can come down and say, okay, I want to do it, or I want to get more practice at it. I've done it a couple times helping a buddy of mine, but Again, I've been an actual apprentice at this, where, a couple times is, you might as well have not done it. When you've done it about 1,000 or 2 times, now you've done something, because you can do it blindfolded. You've done it, okay, I got this, no problem.
Flip of the frame, and you know what you're looking for.
And that's where you come, because you don't want to open your own hive. You're your average, home guy beekeeper. You got a couple of hives, 2, 3, 4 hives. You don't want to be opening that sucker every other day, every week even. I don't. The closest, the most frequent, I personally will open up my hives, if I have to, is on a 2-week basis. I prefer 3 weeks minimum on average, I should say. Mm-hmm. I try not to open them up except for at least every 3 weeks. Other people I've known, I know people who are comfortable with 2 weeks, and that works for them. I know some people who will go a month because they got their yards strewn across, half the countryside, and it takes them that long just to get back to the first one they got to. So, and that's fine too, but I know guys that are in there every other day, every few days, to get their fix, that bee fix, especially when you got that, you're like a junkie, the smell and the sights and the...
Well, the thing is you can do, well, you'd have to be the size of an apiary, something similar to, having 20 to 30 hives where you can kind of space those out.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
daily,
you got that big.
But for a homeowner or, for a little
it's
backyard...
harder to get that experience in.
Yes,
it really is. So here's a place we're going to build up. As we capture, we're going to do the bee rescues. We're going to go out to people's houses, and instead of killing them, don't kill them. We'll come and get them. We'll bring them back here, and they can use them here, because we can harvest the wax, we can harvest the honey, and they can sell it for fundraising for the program here.
Absolutely.
So everybody wins here, and this is a situation where everybody comes out a winner. Beekeepers can come out here and be a winner, because you get hands-on applied experience. You're actually doing it, not just talking about it, not just dainty little 2-fingering it. You're in here working it with us, and you can ask questions, and you can watch first if you want to. You can, however you need to get to it, but you get in and get your hands on here.
It's basically every 2 weeks, or every first and third Saturday field days.
Kind of, really is.
Yeah, really is, so to get you need to get your tushy out here and, get your hands on, look at them, watch what they're doing, and listen. Your ears are very important when you're going through beehives. They will tell you if they're not happy, guaranteed.
Oh, they'll let you know in no short term. And even if there ain't no bees, though, like now, if you don't have bees yet, or you have an apiary, there's not that many, or whatever, or we're just getting started. A lot of people that are going to be getting started, they don't know. What do you do in the downtime? What we did today, we're fixing hives, we're repairing, we're repairing. So there's all kinds of things that go along with beekeeping that aren't hands-on beekeeping.
Or you're going to expand your apiary next year.
Yeah,
go from 2 to 4, maybe to 10. Who knows?
And so, we're getting ready to start doing splits up here. We're going to do some, hopefully about mid-April. And we're gonna, depending on weather, always
My
weather
first
depending.
Form last year, I mark it down every year, was April 22nd.
Oh, that's a good one.
So it was April 22nd, so it was really early. So, it took on like nothing, and they actually are producers.
Yeah, that's
so,
good.
So that was definitely the, that was the main swarm.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll do the splits, preemptive splits.
Hopefully.
And we'll get these done, and we'll bring our first couple of hives up here. And we'll get everybody kicked off. And, up until then, all the work that's going is if you want to learn how to set up your own apiary in your backyard or wherever you're going to be setting it up, and you want to learn how or where and how do you figure this out or where do you put that, come on down. That's what we're going to be doing. We're setting everything up for the first time. So for a lot of you first-timers wanting to know how to set up an apiary and get ready, this is the great time for you to come and participate.
Sure.
And again, Scattered Joy, they need the help. They need people to come down and do this. I ask people to pay $10 a head to come and participate. And like I said earlier, it's not about getting the money to me. I don't get a penny of that. But equipment ain't free. Sometimes you get the small donations here and there. People will give a little bit, if they're nice. But for the most part, all that equipment's got to be bought. All the, stuff that's got tools and equipment because we're going to eventually be accumulating gloves and suits. And I've got Oh, you're gonna love this.
Oh, really? Did you?
Oh, you're gonna love this. It's gonna be a chain link enclosed apiary because they got horses that walk around. So we got to keep the horses out. The fence is mostly for the horses.
They'll rub the hives.
Yes, they will. And then you talk about. That's ugly.
My mentor. Guess where his hive, one of his 8 yards are at? Right next to the horse. Oh. And they have gotten into it.
I bet.
And they were not happy about it.
I can only imagine. Oh, it gets ugly with that. I had to go rescue a couple from a guy that had them, and horses knocked them over, and them was some unhappy bees. But what we're going to do, it's going to be two. So we got the beekeepers that are coming in, and they're going to learn hands-on. They're going to do the work here. We're going to help volunteer, and their money goes to help buy equipment and all of this stuff. Okay, but I'm also putting a little screen, like what do you call them? Like when you go to the baseball games, the Little League baseball game, they got the little
batter cage?
No, where people sit.
Dugout.
Dugout kind of thing. Okay, it's going to be all like window screen, and it's going to be right along the side. So people who are just coming to watch, they want to come and see the rescued animals. Well, they rescue bees. I want to see what they're doing down there. You don't want to get all stung up while we got the hives open. They can go into this big screen dugout, screened in, and be safe and watch while we work.
That's a good idea.
Oh, it's going to be a ball. We're going to have so much fun with that.
That way we can, pick up frames and then see the queen.
So look at that. Yeah.
She's in there somewhere. Somewhere.
But, so I mean, it gives not just beekeepers an opportunity to learn. It gives people who aren't beekeepers but are interested in bees. They're concerned. Hey, I want to see what goes on with all of that. They can come and actually see what happens when we work hives. And it's going to be a full production apiary. I mean, eventually we'll have quite a number of hives producing honey. So not only will they be able to come up here and watch, they can buy a jar of honey on their way out. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year.
Maybe never know.
It depends on the bees and the growth. What's growing and the weather. We got some good moisture right now coming down, so I think we'll see some good. If we get enough planted in, I always say reserve because I'm a conservation first. So I'm always I wait to make sure that I've got my first pull for the bees. What I do, I use a style of honey pull where I put a deep on, and the very first honey box is a deep, and it's for them. And I take it and I put it in a cooler. Put it in the freezer, kills all any whatever's there in there. Bugs. And I label the box from whatever hive it came off of, and it goes in the cooler. And that's in May, in May maybe. And then every box after that is a medium, and that's for harvesting. So come back around end of August, September-ish, maybe October, and we start looking, the bee, because they should be backfilling. Sometimes they don't backfill. Sometimes there's not enough, whatever the reason. Yeah. Okay, but if there's not enough or they just haven't, I've got a whole deep of honey, their honey, to give back to them.
Have a happy day. See you in the spring.
That's right, man. Well, at least in January, February, whatever. I always check anyway, but because I've had hives, where they come in. I got the idea because I started, and you get out there, and you'll have hives go in there, and come October, mid-October, out of, say, an 8-frame box, they've got 4 filled with honey.
Not enough.
Well, it's not bad, but, it's not enough. So, but if I've taken that first box of 8 off, I can come in, they got the 4 in there, I put 4 more in, I got 4 tucked away for February and March.
And then they can start going down to the bottom and backfilling.
Bang, there you go. Well, it depends. If they're already, by October, if they ain't filling in anything else, they really ain't going to.
No, that should be in dearth by then.
Yeah. They should not really be adding too much more unless you get.
Hopefully, we don't have a mild fall.
Well, there's always the fingers crossed part, But that's what inspections are for.
Yeah, absolutely. Your bees are working in the fall, and they're consuming that honey.
Yeah.
And I think
you can come, and that's the thing. You can come out because you should at least have one more inspection after you put that honey in October. Good, you get one good November day to come back out, and if they've started to do that, you can still swap, pull a frame couple out. You can play that a little bit. You got to watch your weather. You got to watch your resources. But I mean, I've had, I think maybe one ever have that problem. over the past few years.
Of
them storing it below that. They just like got busy all of a sudden, you know, or a last minute flow came in, you know.
We had, I don't know whether it's just probably my area, because my apiary is sitting next to about 2,000, 3,000 acres of basically refuge, which is basically in the fall we get smartweed.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's basically a knotweed or basically buckwheat.
Right, yep.
And
that'll pop. Oh,
they
yeah.
just...
Yeah, I can see that.
The top box is full. Let's go down.
Let's go down.
So,
they crowd themselves out. Then you get them late season swarms, and you get...
Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Yeah,
I got late season swarms, and unfortunately, so late, no drones, and guess what happened to Grit's some of his stuff? Well, you know, that's beekeeping.
That's what it is. You know, it's like any other thing, like farming. It's a risk. You know, you're gonna
flip of a coin every year,
every time. By gum, we are into it, man. We've got the whole show in the can now already. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does.
This is the first one back, so we're gonna come back in a couple of weeks when we come back to work on the frames and stuff like that, and then we'll bring out the microphone again, and hopefully we might have a couple more Beehooligans to sit in and get in on the chat. Hopefully you get to make it back. I know you're getting busier as it warms up.
Well, it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
we'll see how it works out. I'm going to save a spot for you at the table.
Save a spot for me, because it's kind of on my Saturday to-do list.
There we go. I like that. We got to keep it happening.
So if I can do that and get home early enough and get my apiary checked, and
everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Gotta love when everybody wins. All right. Well, this is Tony, Big Bear. We're going to have some fun. We'll catch you on the next time, and we'll see who we get here, and we'll get Grit back, and maybe a couple other people, and we'll get this podcast on a regular roll again, folks. Got anything last words?
Happy beekeeping.
Happy beekeeping. I hear you.
All right.
All right, folks. And with that, y'all have a good one.